Hello everybody, my name is John Perrin, I'm Director and Co-Founder of Tactical Sales Training. I want to talk about a classic problem or challenge for every business is the recruitment process and how do we recruit the correct salespeople. It's a very difficult one and there is no perfect answer to this, but there's certain things we can do to make sure that when we do take on people and new salespeople, that we've hopefully got good people going forward. So I think the first thing about the interview is I personally hate interviewing people. I hate the interview process. The last 10 years I've probably interviewed 1,000 different salespeople, and I don't think the format is very good because if you think about it, I'm there as the interviewee and I'm selling myself, and the other person is also selling their self. So we're both sort of saying really good things about our company and they're saying really good things about them. And people generally tell you what you want to hear. So if you're asking a question to a potential new salesperson, are you driven or are you open or motivated by money, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to say, yes, I love money, yes, I want a new car, yes, I'm very driven. And so the whole point of the interview doesn't really help us, so I think it's really key during that first or second interview process, you test them. And lots of people will put formal tests, like they'll come back in and have to do a presentation, or they maybe have to do a certain pitch. And I think that's okay, but I think again they've got time to prepare for that. If they're going to come in and do a presentation for you, then you'd like to think the presentation would go well, so it doesn't really test them. What I would recommend is that everybody tries to test them in a very different way. So for a good example would be that if you interview someone and at the end of the interview, just as they're walking out, you ask them, are they on a product like LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is it's like Facebook but for business. And they will have, hopefully say, yes, I'm on LinkedIn, and they have a certain number of connections. So they may have 42 people they're connected to. As they're walking out the interview process, why don't you just ask them, say, Steve, would you mind doing me a couple of things? Would you mind connecting with me tonight? And also, I'd like to see how many connections you can get by next Tuesday. And you've got to come across in a very subtle way, because when that person leaves, if they're really driven, because they've told you driven, and they're really interested by money, will they connect with you in the evening when they get home, despite having a long drive back from the interview? Will, by the time they get to the next interview, will they have increased their number of connections? Because I've interviewed loads and loads of really, really good potential, and I've asked them to do one simple thing. It could be as simple as going to the gym and just tell me what their fastest time to row could be, and they haven't got back to me. But this person's told me they're really driven, and they haven't got back to me, and they've just chased up for the next interview. And so my first thing is to try and test them, and try and take them out of their comfort zone a little bit, and ask them to do something that's not the norm. If they do come back very quickly, that's the first sign actually this person really wants the job. They're really prepared to do something and actually spend some time late at night getting back to you and pushing them. So try it, really think about what the interview is. It's a very, very poor process and you have to be different. So try this, and it's interesting to see what the feedback is. So thank you ever so much for your time. If you do need more help or advice, then please come back to us at tacticalsalestrainer.co.uk. Thank you ever so much.